this is what's really interesting about this. First of all, you can actually have this done now if you want. Verichip, which is a company out of Florida, will charge, I think you can have it implanted for about $200. That's all. And it only takes about 20 minutes. Here's a picture of it and the size of it in relationship to your index finger. Now, the reason why I wanted to draw your attention to this is because I believe that we are on the verge of having everything in place for this prophecy to be fulfilled. Now, here's the question. Why the right hand or the forehead? Keep in mind that this is where the heat is the most pronounced in your body. Remember when you were a kid and your mom would check to see if you were running a fever by touching your forehead or your forehand? Well, the heat from the body actually powers it. It's sort of like a solar-powered, a heat-powered device. Interesting, one thinks and said that it's very possible that it's in the right hand because this is where we have our hand on the computer mouse. And so it says that no man will be able to buy or sell without this, and it's very possible that with e-commerce the way it is and is fast becoming, that you'll be able to do all of your transactions, and then the sensor in the mouse will actually read the chip in your hand with all the information, and you'll be able to buy and sell online. For those of you with accounts on eBay, no problem. It's just right there. Just a click. You won't even need to click. It'll just read the information, and there it is, and you'll be able to buy and sell. One has suggested that that it would also be in the forehead if perhaps one had prosthetics as opposed to hands and didn't have use of their hands. You couldn't have a prosthetic forehead. You'd have to, and the computer screen. Now the new computers that are out have built-in cameras right there on the screen that can read, write, and get the information right out of the chip. Possible. I think it's very even probable. Here's a photograph of it in relationship to a penny. Now, why would he force everyone to take this mark, assuming it is a chip like this? It's really to control the world, the whole world. Keep in mind that the Antichrist, when he rises to power, will control a one-world government, a one-world religion, and a one-world economy. So he will be able to track and control the whole world vis-a-vis this inserted chip. He will bring the whole world together as this quote-unquote new world order, if you will. Now here's another question. What would cause all people, rich and poor alike, to take this? Here's where it gets really interesting. One, I believe, is to track and even eliminate the possibility of missing children or abducted children. Just on America's Most Wanted last night, they're warning kids. It's that summertime, and just common sense, things that you and I can do to protect our kids from predators. It's getting really bad out there, and by the way, it's going to be worse. Also to track elderly Alzheimer's patients as well. But I think the bigger motivator is this. It would prevent and even possibly eliminate ID theft. Do you realize, and I don't think that I need to show you all the statistics in all the news articles on how serious of a problem ID theft is today. If all of your identification is in a chip, and by the way, technologically, it can be, and it can all fit in a chip this size. It's amazing. But if it's in your forehand, they can't steal your wallet. They can't, because all the information is just right there. You'll be able to do everything, buy groceries, everything with the information just contained on this chip. And so ID theft all of a sudden now has been virtually eliminated. And I think that's a big motivator, if not the motivator, and will perhaps answer why people would actually accept, this mark. Pardon me. Now, some believe that these implanted microchips will actually cause cancerous tumors, which may explain, as they've already begun to realize now after many years of implanting these in animals. Animals have, developed these tumors as a result, and some think that this might actually explain the prophecy in Revelation 16, verse 2. The NIV renders it this way: the first angel went and poured out his bowl on the land, and ugly and painful sores broke out on the people who had the mark of the beast and worshipped his image. Very possible, perhaps very probable that could be what happens, but I guess suffice it to say, this is what's happening, and I believe that this is what could happen. Let me lastly just draw your attention to what the Apostle Paul wrote in his second letter to the church in Thessalonica, recorded in chapter 2, verses 9 through 12. It says, "The coming of the lawless one," speaking of the Antichrist, "will be in accordance with the work of Satan displayed in all kinds of counterfeit miracles, signs, and wonders, and in every sort of evil that deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness." Something that Pastor Chuck Smith said many years ago that really hit me and has stuck with me over years. It's hard to believe why people can be so deceived as to believe a lie. And what he said was, the reason why is because when you reject the truth, you open yourself up to the most magnificent and most bizarre lies you could ever imagine. When you reject the truth of creation, for example, you will accept the lie of evolution, which frankly takes more faith to believe in than does creation. I mean, think about it. To say that don't get me started. I'll preach a whole other sermon. I don't want to do that. Well, I do want to do that, but I won't do that. The point is this: people are deceived. People will be deceived. Why? Because they've rejected, not accepted, the truth. Why do we do what we do every Sunday when we look at Bible prophecy? Because there is such a delusion, such a deception that is out there, even in the churches today. I made this statement a couple weeks ago. I'll say it, and then we'll pray and get into our study in the book of Acts. I think we are more concerned today, as a church, with Paris Hilton than we are with the prophecies in the pages of Holy Writ. Shame on us. It is an indictment on the church in the West today. We have truly become, prophetically, that church of Laodicea, that lukewarm church of all the 7 churches to whom it was written. It was their church, Lao meaning laity, and diocese, or decision, meaning the laity made the decision. And so that's why Jesus is standing on the outside, knocking to come in and sup with them and them with him. Basically, we've removed Jesus from the church. We've removed the teaching of the word from the church. We've removed the cross from the church. We've removed any mention of sin or repentance from the church. How is the church going to know the truth if they're not taught the truth? From the word of truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God. It's a sad day. However, it was prophesied that this day would come, and I believe sadly that this day is here. Let's